All right, Master of Puppets by Metallica. It was an intense watch. Although I say that, like I feel as though all of the times that I watch this sort of genre of music, it feels quite intense. It feels as though there are like commonalities with respect to there being lots of energy, lots and lots of energy coming out of the musicians, and lots of energy coming out of the fans, and a really good connection between the two of them. Um, it felt angry. The music video and seeing them, it felt angry, and um, and I think I know why, but I might be wrong. And so make sure you give me some more context in the comments. But it felt like there were lots of references to um, the control that drugs can have over us. I think toward the end of the song, it was something like "I will kill you" or something. Um, and there were other things about veins and needles and sort of the power, basically the power of drugs, the high of drugs, and how drugs can destroy us. It felt like that was what was going on. For a while I was wondering if it was more about sort of like the puppets being more powerful people within society, and therefore the riots almost being like a signal or pointing to the idea that sooner or later everyday people will rebel when they are living in aversive environments. So I thought it might be that, but like my gut says it's more to do with like the master in this situation being the control that a particular drug has on someone's life. Of course, like the bigger question for me is like, why do people rely on drugs in the first place? How does that happen? And usually, that happens because they're unhappy with their lives. And why are they unhappy with their lives? Probably because society's been set up in such a way that they can't live the lives that they really want, and they got to cope somehow. And then all of a sudden they turn to drugs, and then drugs have this hold on them, this need to have them, and their entire existence becomes about getting the drugs. And then the consequences of then having those drugs are life starts to fall apart a little bit. I think that's what the song was about. um I wonder if that song helps people, because I think so I'm a psychologist, so like a lot of my life is intervention. It's like talking to people with the hope of intervening, of making a difference. And I think there are lots of ways to do intervention. I wonder whether a song like that could help people to make sense, one, to make sense of it, but also to feel that sense of connection to the people within this genre of music. I think like our relationships float us, and that maybe if someone who was addicted to drugs found themselves in that crowd, I reckon a bunch of people in that crowd would probably step forward and try and support them with that. And I think that having that sort of support is one of the easiest way out of drug addiction, relative to just beating it by yourself, which is a lot more difficult than what many people probably realize. Wicked, loved it. I didn't realize that this is the second Metallica song that I've ever watched, second Metallica um, song that I've ever heard, and both of them have been quite deep. Maybe like my preconception of sort of like this genre of music, this sort of like heavy metal rock music, was that it was a lot of shouting, but there's so much more depth in these songs than what I ever realized. And so it's nice. It's nice for me to be able to go on this little journey with this type of music. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my video. And catch you next time. Bye. So you'll know that I'm a psychologist, and you might know that I've written a few books. There are links in the description. My favorite book of the books that I've written is called The Unbreakable Student, and it is a mental health guide for university or college students between the ages of 18 and 21. But the thing that I'm most proud of is a project called Connect, which is a well-being curriculum, a 250-hour intervention for young people between the ages of 4 and 11 to be delivered by teachers or teaching staff. It's totally free. There's that amount of psychological intervention, totally free. All you've got to do is sign up. You won't be asked for any payment details. You won't be asked to pay anything. It'll take like 2 or 3 minutes to sign up, and all of a sudden you'll have access to this whole curriculum. It's aimed mostly at teachers, teaching staff, head teachers, people in education, but also maybe some parents out there might find some use in gaining access to these materials. I hope you like it.